أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Mediation analysis. In this session, we are going to focus on how to perform mediation analysis in SmartPLS4. But before going on into detail as to how to perform mediation analysis in SmartPLS4, I'm going to explain some of the basic concepts with regards to mediation. Now, this is very important that one understands the concept of mediation, because without the prior knowledge of the theory of mediation, you won't be able to understand the concept. And I've seen people making significant mistakes in the interpretation because they do not understand the theory of mediation. It is strongly recommended that scholars do look into the concept of mediation before going on and testing the mediators in their model.
Introduction. Mediation occurs when a construct, referred to as your mediator construct, intervenes between two related constructs. Now, more precisely, a change in the exogenous construct causes a change in the mediator construct, which in turn results in change in the endogenous construct in the PLS path model. When such an effect is present, mediation can be useful statistical analysis if supported by theory and carried out properly. Consider this figure for illustration of mediating effect in terms of direct and indirect effects. A direct effect describes the relationship linking two constructs with a single arrow. Now this is your direct relationship. Y1, Y3, Y1, Y2, Y2, Y3. There are no mediators in between. Indirect effects are those structural model paths that involve a sequence of relationship with at least one intervening construct. Now look at this. There is a sequence of relationship between Y1, Y2 and Y3. Y1 influences Y2, Y2 influences Y3. So your Y2 is your mediator construct or mediating variable. In this case, we only have one intervening construct, but there could be more than one. An indirect effect is a sequence of two or more direct effects, in this case Y1 to Y2, Y2 to Y3, and is represented visually by multiple arrows. Look at this, arrow flowing from Y1 to Y2, then Y2 to Y3. Figure shows both a direct effect, that is P3 between Y1 and Y3, that is, this is your direct effect, and indirect effect of Y1 on Y3. Y1 and Y3, the effect is indirect through Y2, because Y1 is influencing Y2 and Y2 is influencing Y3. And mediation will help you assess whether there is an indirect effect of Y1 on Y3 through Y2. The indirect effect computed as the product of P1, here the direct effect between Y1 and Y2, and direct effect from Y2 to Y3. Now this will give you the mediating effect. Now finally, the sum of direct and indirect effect is referred to as total effect. So the impact of Y1 on Y3, that is your path P2, and the indirect effect that you got from multiplying P1 with P2, the sum of both will give you the total effect. Now, in order to know more about mediation, what is mediation, and these direct indirect effects, I've done a video and you can watch it on my channel. The link will be shared in the description. Systematic mediation analysis. Evaluation of the mediation model. Now, evaluating a mediation model requires all quality criteria of measurement and structural models to be met. Now, as discussed in the previous sessions, the analysis begins with the assessment of reflective formative measurement model. Now, before you go on and assess the mediation role of the mediating variable, you need to assess or evaluate your measurement model, whether it's reflective or formative, as we've done in previous sessions. For example, a lack of reliability for one or more reflective mediator constructs will have a meaningful impact on the estimated relationship in the PLS path model. That is, the indirect effects can be considerably smaller than expected if you do not check your constructs for reliability. Now, for this reason, it is very important to ensure that the reflectively measured mediator constructs exhibit a high level of reliability. Now, after establishing the reliability and validity of measurement models, For the mediator as well as the other exogenous and endogenous construct, it is now important to consider all structural model evaluation criteria that we did in previous sessions. You have to check for collinearity, you will have to assess for explanatory power and the structural relationships as well. High collinearity must not be present since it is like to produce biased path coefficient. Now it is important to check for high collinearity. For example, as a result of collinearity, the direct effect may become insignificant, suggesting the absence of mediation even though, for example, complementary mediation may be present. Likewise, high collinearity levels may result in unexpected sign changes, rendering any differentiation between different mediation types problematic. Moreover, a lack of the mediator construct's discriminant validity with the exogenous or endogenous construct might result in a strong and significant but substantially biased indirect effect, consequently leading to incorrect implications regarding the existence of or type of mediation. Now, after meeting the relevant assessment criteria for reflective and formative measurement model, as well as a structural model by testing the collinearity and other required statistics, the actual mediation analysis follows. Mediation analysis procedure. Now, what is the procedure of mediation analysis? Is P1 and P2 significant? Now, yes, they are significant. Then assess, is P3 significant? That is the direct relationship from your independent variable to your dependent variable, whereas P1 is your relationship from independent to mediator and P2 is your relationship from mediator to dependent. If P3 is significant, now we check for complementary or competitive mediation. Now if P1, P2 and P3, all of them are positive, you've got complementary partial mediation, otherwise you've got competitive partial mediation. Again, if P3 is not significant, you've got full mediation. That is, your direct effect is insignificant and all the influence is passing on the dependent variable through the mediator. But what if your P1 and P2 are insignificant? That is no. Then is P3 significant? Then there is only a direct only relationship. And if your P3 is not significant, that is your direct relationship between independent variable and dependent variable, then there is no effect, no mediation whatsoever.
Moving on, now we are going to look into mediation, a simple mediation model with one mediator. Now let's move this one up just to make it easier to understand. Move it this one here, let's move this one here. Now this is the model that we tested in our basic structural model analysis video. Now what I need to do is, in order to make this one that is your organizational commitment a mediator, I need to link it with my exogenous collaborative culture variable. Now look at this, the paths are complete. This is your direct effect and this is your indirect effect. If this variable here, CC, would not have been here, we would have called CC, OP, and this would have been the total effect without the presence of your mediator. Moving on, now let's test our model. How do we test this model? Now, before mediation or any structural model assessment, you will have to assess the measurement model. So I'm assuming that we have already tested the reliability and validity of these constructs. And now we are going for structural model assessment. So how to do this? Let's say calculate, bootstrapping. Now let's say I'm going to use one tail now because I know the direction of relationships. And path, standardized default, data is fine. For now 5000 is fine. Let's start. Now all paths are significant. So what's the procedure? Let's look at the procedure. The first step is P1 into P2 significant. Now P1 here is this relationship here. P2 is this relationship here. So P1 multiplied by P2 is your indirect effect, and this means whether or not there is mediation. So how do we check for mediation? Let's go to report and let's go to specific indirect effects. So CC, OC, OP. Now you've got only one indirect effect here from CC to OC, OC to OP. This is just one indirect effect. So step 1, is P1, P2 significant? Have a look here. Is it significant? Yes, it is significant. Why is it significant? Because the p-value is less than 0.05. Look at the beta, 0.270. How do you get this value 0.270? If you multiply 0.616 by 0.438. So 0.616, 0.616 multiplied by 0.438 is equal to 0.2698. When rounded off is 0.270. Is the indirect effect significant? Yes, it is significant. And this means that the impact of CC on OP is through this other variable, that is organizational commitment. So what happens is CC influences OC and OC influences OP. Now the next step, once we see that yes, there is indirect effect, so you will come here. Is P3 significant? Where is P3? This here is P3. This is your direct effect. Why am I saying this is direct effect? Because you already have a mediator in the model. Is this significant? Yes, it is significant. So some of the impact of CC on OP is passing through this path here, whereas some of the impact is passing through this path here. So both the path, the indirect path and the direct path, both are significant. Look at this. P3 significant? Yes, P3 is significant. Well, if P3 wasn't significant, let's consider this is not significant. So if this is not significant, this means that no impact of CC on OP is passing through this path. And when no impact is passing through this path and your indirect effect is significant, this means that the whole impact of CC on OP is passing through this particular path. That is, your indirect effect is fully mediated. That is, there is full mediation. But in this case, our P3, that is direct effect, is significant. So if it is significant, then it is partial mediation. Look at this. Even if it is P3 significant, you will go down this route. And if you go down this route, you've got two options, complementary and competitive. But both are partial mediation. What is partial mediation? Some of the impact of CC on OP is passing through this path here, and some of the impact is passing through this indirect path from CC to OC to OP. That is the impact of CC on OP through OC. Now that both paths are significant, your indirect effect and your direct effect. Now, is it complementary mediation or competitive mediation? Now, if you multiply P1 with P2, P3, P1, P2, P3, is the sign negative? No, it is positive. So this is complementary mediation. Now, if any one of them would have been negative, this would have been competitive mediation here. Now, in this case, it is complementary partial mediation. So this is how you can use SmartPLS4 to assess basic mediation model. In coming session, we are going to look into more detailed mediation analysis with our proposed original model with multiple mediators. In the next session, I'm going to talk about very basic moderation analysis. Thank you very much.